I don't know if I thought it's going to be that long. I just thought it's a great opportunity to get my friends involved in software development. To tell the truth, when I landed in the US, I started working in software development. I thought, well, the people who I worked with back at home in Ukraine were as talented as people who I'm working with right now, so they would definitely fit in. And even kind of culturally wise, being very passionate about what they're doing, being kind of spending nights and weekends if something doesn't work. It's all been part of my experience in Ukraine, so I said, well, it's no different. And it so happened that opportunity showed itself in 2000, and I was lucky enough to meet a person who is willing to take a risk on the other side, who was basically saying, you have friends who are talented? No, let's try it. And so it started with three of us working on a project for one small client in Massachusetts. That's how it's all started. Would I be doing something different? Maybe, probably, but this is hard to imagine right now. It's because it's 25 years since that moment. We started in Dnipro because of the personal connections of, I'm from Dnipro. I spent first 30 years of my life there, so I knew people and we connected and we formed the working groups and we kind of reach out to friends, and first a group of people were basically all knew each other from different perspective, not only professionally. Then it grew, it became more kind of regular company where you hire people, where you go to the university, talk to the students, and the competition was very high in that time, and the IT market in Ukraine was booming. So Dnipro becomes very kind of congested market in terms of companies seeking talent, and we decided, well, let's go somewhere else and expand. By accident, almost again, by different connection, it was Khmelnytsky where we went, and we started there, and once we saw some success, we saw, well, it's more stable for the company to rely on several points of growth, because if one market is depressed, our other market may be better suited, and that's gradually we grew into the 5 development centers in Ukraine. And the same kind of mindset actually brings you to a conclusion that eventually you have to branch out. Eventually you have to be, if you're becoming a global company, if you're servicing clients all over the world, so your delivery centers also have to be more diversified, more kind of geographically dispersed. And relatively recently we started our efforts in expanding Asia. We have an office in Europe, and I think having more points of growth, it's like a legs of the lamp or whatever. You become more stable, you become more agile and more able to react to the changes in the market. It works both ways. If you have clients in Europe, it's very good to have a local team that can go on site and kind of talk to clients. Again, I would give you the example of one of our first contracts in Europe, when I was just a sales person business development person trying to push this. And in the US, it was very common for us, never seen, at least initially not been even seen person in our customer in person, with just everything done through the internet. We talked, we did presentation, we prepared a proposal, we maybe do some POC or whatever, and then we sign a contract. And then later on we visit and really kind of connected in person. And then we have this prospect in Europe, and we've been introduced. We had a very strong case because we've been introduced by a very strong technical partner who was actually pushing the technical product, and we'll do stuff on the top of that. And everything went fine. We had several presentations, we prepared a proposal, we went through several stages, and finally I got a call. We had a call and they said, well, congratulations, you're in the final 2. So you and other company are bidding for this project. And we would like to schedule the final presentation in 2 weeks. Well, 10 days, actually. And I said, great, should I send the invite? And I hear the silence on the other side of the phone, not phone. They said, no, we expect you to be present. We expect this to be in person, but because you're the finalist, now it's time to be in person. And I was surprised, so I have to drop everything, buy tickets and fly to Europe to make a presentation, and we actually won it. So this is different perception of different cultures of how you do business, and it kind of leads to you needing business development teams in different countries, as well as development centers in different countries. Looking back, when we started business, we all been technical people, founders, and we had certain disrespect for business development side of the business. And we thought, we are doing a good job. We are servicing our clients well, so we just go by reference, so somebody would refer us to somebody else, and so on and so forth, and we'll grow this way. And then crisis hit, and one of our biggest clients decided, because of different reasons, not because of quality of our work, they decided to stop collaboration, and about 40% of our business disappeared overnight. And we realized that we don't have a pipeline. We don't have other customers to talk to. We don't have a prospects to talk to. So we need to do business development. We need to seriously consider how we go around, how we talk to people, how we create this so-called funnel of kind of leads, opportunities, projects, and so on, and how we keep this funnel going, basically doing business development. And that's how business development became an important part of our business. So yeah, kind of circumstances, and not very favorable circumstances, push your actions, and that's how it works. I don't know, at least for us. Maybe some people say they don't do it differently. Well, good for them, but that's how we do it. Dramatically changing the nature and dramatically changing the approaches are actually happening during the tough times and during the times that are not so favorable for the company. Then we start kind of actively thinking of, okay, we started doing it, let's say 2 years ago, why we are doing it so slow? We have to push in this direction. I mean, this issue of servicing more enterprise clients than kind of switching to ISV, from people who develop software themselves to people who use software to solve their business problems. We started thinking about it quite a while ago, but times were good. We are getting enough jobs and requests and projects from the traditional pool, so it was moving slowly. And then we realized that this market is getting more saturated. We see kind of slow of growth, and so that yes, we need to invest, we need to concentrate on a different direction. So that's we invested more, and we see that it was the right decision to do, because right now it's definitely direction that our company is doing. You have to monitor your business. You have to look at the trends, and if you see the trends going in the wrong direction, start thinking about the changes. So if question is bad times required to make a change? Yeah, I would say so, unfortunately. If we're talking about myself, I kind of migrated from the technical side to the business development side, and that was all new for me, and it was kind of nerving, and so uncertainty kind of definitely was a part of this transition, because I never did it. I heard, interestingly enough, about the same time I was at the conference, and it was a very nice presentation that put a little bit of confidence in me, and the person said, he was talking about nature of selling, and he said that at the end of the day, the best performance in sale is quote-unquote average people. There's kind of perceptions that extroverts are better in sales and introverts are worse in sales, and the best salespeople are extroverts. And he said the studies shows that actually it's not that way. People in the middle actually perform better at sales than extroverts. And I thought, okay, I'm somewhere in the middle, so it's not all lost. One of the kind of bright moments of my early career as a salesperson, we were bidding in becoming partners, development partners of a very cool startup that was started by industry veterans. They knew us from the previous jobs, but nevertheless they considered several other candidates, and I was preparing for the presentation, kind of presenting our company, our experience, and I remember it was evening before that. I have a presentation in the morning, and I look at my presentation, and it was kind of a standard way, kind of how we always did it, and I said to myself, no, I have to do something different. And basically I spent the night of rearranging this presentation, basically starting from the end, and then it was kind of a little bit of maybe a creative spark, I would say. It was something that just struck me, and it was successful. We got this contract, and they're still our customers, and I still remember this as a kind of a little bit of success. And I think we need to mature. We still have elements of this ad hoc companies that we built 25 years. We are much more mature than we obviously been 25 years, even 5 years ago. But I think I would love to have a little bit of spark of camaraderie, and at the same time building the processes and structures that eliminate routine things, that you don't spend time on simple things and done it through check mark or whatever. So how do we do it? I don't know. We'll try to do it. We'll do our best to do it. But my view of the company is a more mature company in terms of processes, but companies that keeps this spark of camaraderie, so to speak, and informality as well. So that's maybe a vague view, but it is what I see as an internal company. But in terms of our clients, I would love to go and serve bigger clients, to be a partner of leaders of the industry. That's my kind of dream of us becoming we serve big companies in a very small, yet relatively speaking, in a very small scale. I would like to be a more significant partner to big corporations and leaders of the industry.